Hey guys, this is Alex. Let's talk about my track record today because I think a lot of people don't understand what that chart actually means. That chart means freedom, and you cannot achieve results like these in 4 trades or a week of trading or even a couple weeks of trading or even a couple months of trading. This is achieved after hundreds, in this case thousands of trades, and that proves 2 things. First of all, that the statistical edge method works, and 2, that you can put it into action. It can be done. It's not some cropped out trade or any of these nonsense things that you see over social media everywhere. You have a statistical edge, a strategy built around that. You keep follow these rules, and that's how you have the success. So the success in trading is not defined by what kind of trading strategy you're doing. It could be a scalping strategy. It could be a day trading strategy. This one is more of a swing type of trading strategy. But this is not what makes a success. The success is the statistical edge. And that statistical edge can make any trading strategy successful. So I'll explain to you in this video how I, grew this account from 0 to 100% profit. And again, it wasn't free trades, but by consistently growing the account month after month, year over year. And I didn't use a magic indicator. And I didn't use any magic block formation or whatever. I used an edge. An advantage. What is an edge? An edge means it's something that if you follow it will lead you to success. It's an advantage. And a statistical edge is what you need. A lot of people confuse technical analysis as an edge, but technical analysis is random all in by itself. It doesn't have a reliability aspect to it. So that's why you need to have a statistical edge. And that adds the consistency aspect that makes it work over the long term. So again, that track record actually proves it. I can't even blame you guys because I was there myself once. In the beginning, I did all the same. I tried to do all the different formations of candles. I tried to find indicators, use trading robots, and they all had one thing in common. They didn't work. I ended up losing. And that basically got to my feelings and trusting the wrong people, and eventually actually culminated in losing all my money and my parents' money on top. But even after that, I kept trying, and I was stuck in that mindset of trying to find that magic solution, that magic approach. And that actually I kept even losing afterwards, whatever little money I had left or was trying to earn or whatever. And when I worked at the bank, at the investment bank, because that was what changed everything. I could see the customers trading there. Even in the bank, by the way, most people that traded with the bank were losing. There were only some few that were making money. Because I was such a hardworking guy, I had the privilege to build relationships with these people. I got them, better liquidity, lower margin requirements, any of these things that would help them to scale their trading even better, or make it more efficient or more profitable. And in return, I was able to build relationships and ask questions. And this is where I learned what a statistical edge is. And wow, it blew my mind. I never, it was there. It was always there, but I didn't see it. I did not see it. So that was not another magic strategy. It was an ingredient that changed the perspective. You know the famous saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that was the statistical edge. So what a statistical edge is, it brings a probability of winning to your trading. And it does it in a way that you can do it again and again. You can reproduce that. You have clear rules. You have measurable, objective parameters that you follow. You test them and you know, you don't guess, that they work over enough number of trades. You cannot influence the distribution of trades, but you know the probability of them. What it also does is it helps with your psychology so massively. Many people think psychology is their problem in trading, but a weak psychology is first and foremost a sign of a weak trading system. You cannot convince yourself of being confident if your system is not robust, if it's weak. So what you need is a system that you trust, that you can rely on, and your ability to put it into action. This is where your psychology strength then will come from. You cannot fake it till you make it. You cannot, because you are the one trading. You would be needing to fake yourself, and you can't do that. If you don't have the ability, your psychology will bite you in the ass, my friend. So even to bring your psychology on a higher level, you need to have a robust system first. And for that, you need to have a statistical edge. And the ability to put it into action. And when you do that, the key takeaways that's so eye-opening is that you don't worry anymore like, where should I put my stop loss? Where should I take profit? Should I let my trade run? Should I close it now before it hits stop loss or take profit? Like, what size should I trade? What asset class should I trade? What time of the day should I trade? What pattern should I enter? None of these things are question marks anymore, and they're not random anymore. So when you know exactly what you're looking for, you are so much more focused, prepared, and then you can train yourself on exactly that. And that's also why you need a strategy that works for you, and I'll touch on that in a second. Because if you try to do a strategy that you got from someone else, and you don't know if it really works, you will never have that level of confidence. Not at all. And you can, again, see it here in my track record. The account went from 0 to 100%. First couple of months, actually everything worked fine. And then obviously we still had also drawdown phases. And even now, just recently, last month I had a drawdown phase, and this month we recovered completely. So that's also a point. You trust your system to a point enough, and also you review the metrics and the data of your system so that you can look, is everything still in place? Because you know from your statistics, what is my average loss, my average win, my highest, my lowest, losing streaks, winning streaks. All of these things, you have a lot more metrics that you can cross-reference with so that you can know whether you need to adapt something or not. And, if you need to switch gears, and because that is what happens over, this track record is now close to 2 years long. So of course there were different market phases there. So that's the most important part. As you have your data and your approach and your ability to put it into action, you also know when it's time to adjust something. Or at least when it's time for needing to adjust something. Or you avoid doing that. That's what we call in German verschlimmbessern. You make something worse by trying to make it better. You don't do these nonsense things. You stay cool. You do your real job, and you do it very well. And consistency is the result. But just because this strategy worked for me to produce that kind of track record, it doesn't mean it will work for you. So what you should do instead of just copying one strategy is to learn the underlying principles, the universal principles, the statistical edge. And then also my way of how you build a statistical edge, the 7 building blocks. So in this strategy, it was a swing trading strategy. And you could build a strategy that needs something else, like, for example, the time zone that you live in, the type of trading strategy in the first place, scalping, day trading, any of these things. For example, I have a story here. Like, he was actually a good student, and he built a strategy on the DAX at the time. Pretty good, looked very great on paper. And then when the time came when he was supposed to put it into action, I asked him then a few weeks in, like, how did the trading go? And he said, I didn't trade. So, why? What's going on? Well, I work. I can't trade the strategy. So I said, so you worked? So you develop a strategy that you cannot even trade? You see, so sometimes it's these simple things that you really need to pay attention to. So no, build a strategy that actually fits your lifestyle. And also, what is it that you want to do? How many hours do you want to spend at the computer? And any of these things, Don't be the guy that wakes up at 3 o'clock in the morning with a coffee and a Red Bull because you're trading London Open. I posted a funny reel about that the other day. So it's also very subject to your requirements. So learn the professional foundations first, and then begin developing your own version of that with the statistical edge, with the 7 building blocks to have a statistical edge in the first place. I was a beginner once. I did the same thing. And you dip your toes into the water, you become comfortable with the whole process, with the data, with the backtesting, with the live trading then as well, and also with following a system. Then you will go off board, you will become so much more self-aware about your own feelings and decision-making processes, and this is how you become skillful. So that's what I do actually also in my mentoring is I don't just help people develop their trading strategy, but I help them also on the execution part, put it into action so that they can actually do what they have developed, right? So that is the skill of trading. Skill of trading is not flipping an account, is not any of these betting things because they are short-lived and they only work for influencers that make their money from you, basically, not from that. So put in the effort to discover what kind of trading you really like. What can you manage? What kind of risk can you handle? How much time can you spend trading every day, every week? And then build on these foundations and figure out your own strengths and weaknesses. And then optimize on those. And then you find even more opportunities from that. A subset of your strategy. Maybe on a smaller time frame. Maybe on a different asset. So, you get better and better also at spotting things in your process that give you ideas. That then you also apply the same process to. So that process, what What it births is basically the superpower of creating something that works for you, statistically, based on math, on numbers, on reality. Don't argue with reality. And that's why you also develop then that bulletproof mindset. I don't argue about these things. I couldn't care less if you believe that or not. I honestly don't. I know. And this is what's super important in trading. You go from a lack of clarity to having clarity to then moving even up another notch from clarity to knowing. And then you're a trader. Then you have the skill set of trading in your DNA. And that's how you do it. You understand, like, what am I looking for? At what time am I looking for it? How do I execute it? How do I risk manage? How do I trade manage? How do I exit? Which pattern I'm looking for? Which pattern should I stay away from? Which ones continue to suck me in? You don't become a superhuman overnight. So it's also knowing what you should not do is just as good as knowing what you should do. Okay, so this is the process. And that process, honestly, is not so difficult. It is relatively simple, but you need to not have a TikTok brain for that. Sorry to break it to you, but that's really it. Because that brings consistency and results. Again, this is 100% profit in 1.67 years, something like that. Consistent. Working out of drawdowns multiple times. What more do you need? What more do you need? Oh, but you only made 100%. I know a guy, he made it yesterday. Yeah, ask the guy in 3 months how much money he will have. In the meantime, I added 5 more cars to my collection. Look, you choose. At the end of the day, I'm just here to explain to you what actually works. And it worked for me, and it worked for plenty other people as well. But what you need to understand is that trading success is not defined by a huge amount of money in a trade or a couple trades or anything that has a betting culture aspect to it. Trading success is consistent growth, years after years, hundreds, thousands of trades, consistent profitability, and that can only be achieved with the help of a statistical edge, nothing else. No magic strategy, no magic indicator. I said it plenty of times. And you need to build your own trading strategy that works for you. Because just if it works for me, it doesn't mean it works for you. You and I, we see the same things, but we don't. And we don't react in the same way. So it's very important that you build reference with what you're doing yourself. And then you know how to do it. And as long as you make sure that your strategy has a statistical edge, you don't need to worry about it. You will never ever be confused again in any single trading decision that you need to make. Where should I enter? Where should I exit? My trade management, my risk management, blah, 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 blah. I explained it repeatedly here. That's how it works. And in case you're interested, that's what I teach in my mentorship. And I only mentor a selected few. I'm not looking for people that expect me to hand them a key to a Lamborghini. And I want to work with the people that sign up closely. I take personally a look at your strategy, at your submissions, your results, your journals. I help you with all of that so that you can also get the right guidance and support. So I don't just dump a video course on you and whatever problem you have is your problem. No. I actually help you with the very process and teach you everything in 12 weeks of how to build a strategy, statistical edge, 7 building blocks, all of these things. But then also I am there as a mentor to help you put all these things into action. So if that's something, you're interested in so that you can gain real freedom from trading, because I'm not glued to the screen the whole day, absolutely not. And you don't need to. So if that's something for you, you want to build a strategy together, then you can click the link under the video. If it's not, all good. I don't mind, all good. So yeah, that's it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.